Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel and today we are going to talk about eyeball structure. So let's start our topic with introduction. Eyeball is a specialized sensory organ that is responsible for vision. It is roughly spherical structure that is about 24 millimeter in diameter in adults. It is located within the orbital cavity. It has three main layers that include fibrous layer, vascular layer and nervous layer. And it is filled with refractive media that focus light on the retina. Eyeball is designed to capture light, to convert it into neural signals, and also transmit it to brain through the optic nerve, that is cranial nerve number 2. General overview of eyeball structure. Eyeball can be divided into outer coat, that is also called as fibrous layer. It is protective and it gives shape to the eyeball. Second layer is middle coat, that is also called as vascular layer. This layer nourishes and adjusts light entry. Third layer is inner coat, that is also called as nervous layer. It contains photoreceptors for vision. And then there are internal contents of eyeball that include aqueous humors, lens and vitreous body. Fibrous layer of eyeball. It is the outermost protective coat of the eyeball and it is composed of cornea. That is transparent avascular dome-shaped structure that form the anterior one-sixth of the eyeball. Its function is it acts as a major refractive surface of the eye and it transmits and bends light rays. Its layer includes epithelium, Bowman membrane, stroma, Descemet membrane and endothelium. Then the second part of fibrous layer is sclera. It is opaque, white, dense connective tissue that cover the posterior 5 to 6 part of the eyeball. This layer provides shape, rigidity and attachment for extraocular muscles. And this layer is pierced posteriorly by the optic nerve at the lamina cerebrosa. Then the next layer of eyeball is vascular layer. It is pigmented vascular coat that is responsible for blood supply and regulation of light entry. It has three main parts that include choroid, ciliary body and iris. Now let's talk about these parts. First part of vascular layer is choroid. It is literally a vascular area and it is pigmented layer between the sclera and retina. Its function is to supply oxygen and nutrients to the outer retina and absorb scattered light. Second part of vascular layer is ciliary body. Its components include ciliary muscle that control lens shape for accommodation. Its component includes ciliary processes that secrete aqueous humor. The ciliary body function is to accommodation and production of aqueous humor. Third part of vascular layer is iris, that is colored diaphragm with a central opening that is called as pupil. Its function is to control pupil size, regulating light entry into the eye. Then let's talk about the muscles of eye. It includes sphincter pupillae that are in iris present, that are present in iris, that includes sphincter pupillae and dilator pupillae. Sphincter pupillae are the act on the parasympathetic nervous system and they constrict pupil, while dilator pupillae work on the sympathetic system and their function is to dilate pupil. Now let's talk about the nervous layer of eyeball. This is the innermost layer and it is specialized for photoreception and vision. Its structure includes outer pigmented layer and inner neural layer. Outer pigmented layer of it absorbs stray light and spot photoreceptor, while inner neural layer contains photoreceptor, bipolar cells and ganglion cells. Photoreceptors in nervous layer are rods that detect dim light vision that include black and white discrimination. Then photoreceptors also include cones that are bright light that capture bright light and are for the color vision. Specialized areas in nervous layer. First area is macula lutea, that is central area for high acuity vision. Second area is fovea centralis, that is depression in macula that is highest visual acuity. Third area is optic disc, that is also called as blind spot. At this area there are no photoreceptor and this is the area of exact of optic nerve. Refractive media of eye, that are the inner structures of the eyeball. The refractive structure of eyeball focus light on the retina. They include aqueous humor, lens, and vitreous body. Aqueous humor is a clear fluid that is filling anterior and posterior chamber. It maintains intraocular pressure. It nourishes avascular cornea and lens. Then there is lens, that is also the refractor included in the refractive media of the eye. It is transparent biconvex structure behind the iris. This lens is suspended by zonular fibers from the ciliary body. This lens changes shape for accommodation, that is for the near vision and for the far vision. Then the third refractive media of eye is vitreous body. It is transparent gel-like material that is within the posterior segment of the eye. It maintains eyeball shape and optical clarity. Chambers of eyeball. It has anterior chamber that is present between cornea and iris. It has posterior chamber that is present between iris and lens. And then it has vitreous chamber that is present posterior to the lens, and this area is filled with vitreous humor. Blood supply and nerve supply of eye structure. Eyeball. Blood supply is by central retinal artery that supplies inner retina. It is by choroidal vessels that supply outer retina. And then the nerve supply is by optic nerve, that is cranial nerve number 2, that supplies sensory input for vision. And nerve supply is by the ciliary nerve that provides sympathetic and parasympathetic nerve supply, and it is autonomic control of iris and ciliary muscle. Clinical significance of eye structure. First, there may be glaucoma, that is raised intraocular pressure due to impaired aqueous humor drainage. Second, clinical significance may be cataract, that is lens opacity increase that lead to vision loss. Third significance is retinal detachment, that is separation of sensory retina from pigmented layer, and this can cause blindness. Fourth significance is macular degeneration. It is damage to macula that lead to central vision loss. Fifth significance is refractive errors that include myopia, hypermetropia, astigmatism, and it is due to irregular cornea or lens shape. Conclusion of this lecture video. Eyeball is a complex sensory structure that is composed of 3 layers and transparent refractive media. They work together to capture and process light. Understanding its anatomy is essential for diagnosing and treating eye diseases, and this makes it a critical area of study in clinical practice. And this was all about eyeball structure. Hopefully you liked the video. If you do, don't forget to like, share, subscribe and comment. Thank you for watching.